Welcome back to Man v Film. It's a top 5 video this time, revolving around my favourite Blu-ray boutique companies of 2020. Now I've got actually some preparation. I've made some notes this time around, so I'm not going on the fly. That's rather unique for me. I do of course have the essential coffee. I'm pretty sure I'm addicted to both this and movies. Yeah. So at number 5, and this was a tough one to call. I was tempted to go a little bit higher because of the quality of the product. And my number 5 company of 2020 was Second Sight Films. Now, they only released 7 discs that year, which might seem like a little bit of a thin product, but because of the quality of the movies that they released, every movie was great. The limited editions were fantastic. There were a couple of reissues of things they'd done before, but just 7 basic titles, and they were Revenge, Magic, Under the Shadow, Strangers, Walkabout, Man with X-Ray Eyes, Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead and Walkabout were 2 of my favourite releases of the year. Absolutely outstanding. The best kind of limited editions that you could hope for. You know, that really extra special, and because of the quality of their output, I had to put them on my list. Just had to. And they're looking as if they're going to kickstart next year as well, or this year, with the Nightingale and Host already, and Dog Soldiers coming at some point. Great. I love what this company are doing. Long may it continue. Number 4 on my list, and probably a surprise, is Arrow Video, or Arrow Academy, however you want to include this company. Now, some great releases this year, including the Gamera set, which was amazing, The Woman, After Midnight, and The Deeper You Dig, and Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway are movies I want to just single out. They started this with The Endless, where they added in a second disc, another movie from the same filmmakers that just added exponentially to the value of the disc in my eyes. Now this year they did it with several movies, whether it be The Woman, which came with Offspring, amazing, or After Midnight, which I really love, which came with The Battery, a movie I really dig as well. The Deeper You Dig and Jesus Shows You the Highway I haven't picked up as yet, but just the fact that they're taking this extra special care, throwing in a whole other movie, and not just a movie. Take for instance The Battery on the After Midnight disc. It comes with a feature-length documentary about making that movie, which is wonderful, and commentaries as well. It's not just a simple throw it in. They take the care on the movie as well, and I love that kind of aspect about them. Arrow sales were plentiful in 2020, almost too much, to the point that my bank balance was crying. I loved going on to the Arrow sales. I'm looking forward to them starting up this year again, where you can go in there and pretty sure whatever you grab, you're going to get something great. They've always got movies at $5 as well. I usually go straight for them and pick up, just blind buy anything I don't have. And it's amazing the kind of things you can pick up. Last year in some of the sales, I picked up great discs like The Sweet Smell of Success, or the One Missed Call trilogy, which was great for like £10 not long after it had been released. Arrow sales are really spectacular. Their big box sets, you know, whether it be the William Grefé, Alejandro Jodorowsky, the Gamera set, they're creating these packages that are must-haves, even if you're not something you're known within your knowledge. I didn't know much about Jodorowsky, didn't know much about Grefé. I loved delving into those sets. The Gamera set was a standout, their best release of the year, and was truly a behemoth. Then they dipped their toe into 4K as well. And I didn't get all the 4Ks because, hey, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have the kind of finances to just buy everything, although I would love to. But I did get a few. I saw The King of New York, and that looked utterly wonderful. Great transfer. I had one of my favourite releases of the year, Tremors, on 4K. The movies never looked better. The package was outstanding. All the little extras just added to making it wonderful. Pitch Black was a strange opener and one I'm going to get at some point, but their move into 4K was really noticeable, and that's what kind of made them my fourth favourite company of the year. Number 3 was Vinegar Syndrome. I love exploitation, I love horror movies, although I like to dip my toe in everything. That this was a blind buy for me, this company. I pretty much just took the chance, subscribed, and started getting through awesomeness every couple of months. It was amazing, the movies I got. Not everything was wonderful, and that's fine, but the movies that I did get were just fantastic. Their sales, which you have twice a year, turned out to be unlike anything I've ever experienced before. I wrote a little thing on my channel, the communities tab, about the sale, because it was such an experience, the first one that I had. The camaraderie, meeting new friends, talking about movies, the enabling that everybody had, being on the forums, watching live streams of people. It was such an exciting and buzz time. Just watching Vinegar Syndrome, one of the things about their website is they have product counts of how many discs they have. Just watching that rapidly drop was both exciting and fearing just if you wanted something. They've also got this wonderful addition in their website. Now it's lethal. It is basically an add to existing order. So you can continually add to your orders without racking up postage costs. This is something that makes you go back and you just one more movie. It's crazy, but it works so well. Vinegar Syndrome, also into the 4Ks with Rad, Deadly Games and the Beastmaster. Amazing films. Now there is a lot of things there that might not be for you, but if you're into those kind of movies, it's an amazing company. Also, their box sets that were released this year were amazing. The Forgotten Gialli sets, I'm a big Gialli fan. They were outstanding. The artwork, the movies themselves, the transfers, and that's one thing I should just stop and mention. The transfers on Vinegar Syndrome are across the board, 5 out of 5 presentations every single time. They do them themselves and they are amazing at it. Number 2 of my favourite companies of the year was 88 Films. 88 Films is a strange company. You know, I've always liked them. I've been collecting them for a number of years, but very rarely do you get a movie from them where you're like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But they do have a great batting average of just great movies, ones that I really enjoy. They're not exceptional, but I just get some fun out of them. And they had 5 from the slasher classics, 8 Jackie Chans, 6 Italian collection, 4 Van Dammes, 4 from the Asian collection, and of course just some standalone movies like North Sea Hijack, Piranha 2, and the amazing I Know What You Did Last Summer trilogy box set. These were great releases. These were something that I had to get almost immediately every time, and even ones that I didn't want, like the Van Damme ones, they got me. I got one, I loved it. I got the next one, I loved that. And now I'm just rolling with them. This is one of the companies where I pretty much buy almost anything they put out, and I love it. They're Jackie Chan movies, which people seem to be railing against recently because that's a lot of what they release, but they're amazing. The quality is excellent. The extras are outstanding. The versions are amazing. And the packaging or the artwork from Kung Fu Bob is simply divine. And you get all these wonderful commentaries from various people on the discs that are just exceptional. They're funny, insightful. It just has the full package. 88 Films for me has been a movie company that has very rarely, if ever, let me down with their releases. What more could I say about this wonderful company? And number 1, my favourite company of the year was Eureka. I love getting the Eureka discs, and unlike say 88 Films, there is a great hit percentage of just classic, amazing movies in amongst that. This year we got 17 new Masters of Cinema movies, some good classics, and amongst that we get the Buster Keaton Volume 2 and 3 sets. We got some weird horror like the Bela Lugosi set, which was terrific. We got The Specialists, which was one of my favourite movies of the year. Very rarely do people talk about that. Their kind of Eureka Classics was wonderful with Mr. Vampire, which was a movie it took me a couple of watches to really appreciate, but wow, what a film. 976 Evil, Sleepwalkers, The Bride with White Hair were their October planned releases. What a slate. They're really leaning into the Halloween stuff, but they're still offering this wonderful Master of Cinema range, which has noir, horror, all different kinds of things, like limited packaging as well, like the Quiden set, which sold out almost instantly and was an amazing package that complemented the amazing transfer on the disc, the wealth of extras, along with a great booklet and packaging to go with it. It released one of my favourite movies of the year, Made in Hong Kong, which I'd never heard of, and I utterly fell in love with it. For me, Masters of Cinema is a broad cinema company that really enlighten and teach me about film. You know, quite often there's movies I've never heard of, but I'll throw on something, whether it be Crisscross, and just love the noir movie that I get from that. I throw in The Silence and I'm wowed with the Paul Lenny stuff that came out near the end of the year with Waxwork and The Man Who Laughs, which were both exceptional movies in their own right and looked stunning considering the transfers that have been put on them. Eureka is a company that I feel not only entertains me but educates me as I continue to watch these movies. So I'd love to know, what was your favourite company of the year? Let me know in the comment box below. I'll see you next time on Man v Film.